All right, y'all. So this recording is for mathematical reasoning, chapter 4, and that managing your money. Okay, so 4A, the first section deals with taking control of your finances. So let me go to my pad so we can write down these steps I'm about to give you. So controlling your finances. So we got 4 steps we use to control our finances. First thing, know your bank balance. You want to avoid bouncing checks and having your credit cards or debit cards rejected. So always know your bank balance. Try to keep that thing positive. Next thing, you need to know what you spend. Keep track of everything you use that debit card for and a credit card, okay? Because those are easy to use without writing down what we're spending. And then if we forget about them charges, it could cause us to bounce checks because we don't have enough funds. So always know what you spend. Third, don't buy on impulse. That means being spontaneous, right? Just because you see something and you really like it, does it make sense to buy this? Is it going to help your life? Okay, do you have money to buy it and still make it on your budget? And then the last thing is to make a budget. And on a budget, you would have all the money you make, and then over here, you would have all the money you're spending on bills. Try to keep the money you make column positive, okay? So you have all your income, and you'll find all the debt you got. You want to have your income be higher than the debt you're spending to avoid issues with your finances, okay? So I'm going to do an example of what we call credit card interest. So credit card interest. So Cassidy still can't fully pay off her credit card. So she's got a credit card she can't pay off. Her average monthly balance is about $1,100. So monthly balance is roughly $1,100 a month. Her card charges 24% annual interest. Which it bills at 2% per month. So 24% divided by 12 months gives you 2% per month. How much is she spending on interest? Because y'all, if she's paying a lot of interest, then that's not really helping her bring that credit card bill down, okay? Them minimum monthly payments, they do nothing for the balance, really. They just keep you paying interest every month. Your payments are lower, but still, you never get the bill knocked down. So what we want to do is see what 2% of 1,100 is. So 2%, we can't multiply by 2%. So what we want to do is turn 2% into a decimal. So what you do, the decimal is technically after the 2. So since it's in percent and we want to convert it into decimal, we move the decimal left twice, which makes that a 0.02. So 2% is like 2 cents of a dollar, which is 0.02. So what I'm going to do is take that 0.02 and multiply by the $1,100 and see what 2% is. So on my calculator, I would do 0.02 times 1,100, and notice I get $22. So how much spent on interest. So we know it's 2% per month. So for our yearly interest, we would take that $22 and multiply by 12 months in the year. And altogether, let's see, we got 22 times 12 months. So see, we was figuring out monthly here. Now we're figuring it out yearly. So 22 times 12 looks like $264 a year just on interest. So that's a whole lot of people if you're living on a budget and you only got so much money you can put toward your bills and stuff, okay? So always watch it on those credit cards. They get you on that interest. All right, so here is a 4-step budget making process. So the first thing you want to do is determine your monthly income. So determine monthly income. That can be from pay, Social Security, child support, any number of incomes that you have monthly. We want to figure that out. Then we're going to determine monthly expenses. Monthly expenses could be your electric bill, your rent, water, gas, what you spend on groceries a month, gasoline for your car a month. All those are monthly expenses. Anything that you're paying every month, credit card payments, all that, okay? Anything that you got to pay, we want to know. So then you want to determine your monthly cash flow. So to do that, subtract your total expenses from your total income. So subtract total expenses from total income. Right? So here's the thing. When I subtract my total expenses from my total income, I want that to be a positive number because that means I got money left over. If I get a negative number, y'all, that means I'm spending more than I'm making to bring into my budget. You do not want that to be negative. If it's negative, you need to get out of that negative cash flow immediately, okay? And that's what number 4 step is to make adjustments as needed. Okay, so I'm in a negative cash flow, then I might have to get rid of my cable TV to save me about $80 a month. I might have to get rid of my cell phones and save me money a month. All those are luxuries, okay? We got to make sure we got a budget so that we can have a place to live, electric, and all of our essentials, okay? All right, y'all, and then the next thing I think I'll talk about are what we call insurance cost. So let me go through insurance cost, and then we'll get into the actual homework problems for this section. So insurance cost, we got what we call a premium. And that's what you pay to purchase the policy. Now, a lot of times on auto insurance, you can pay it monthly, or sometimes they pay it 6 months at a time. Health insurance, you usually pay a premium every paycheck. They take it out of your check for your insurance. So those are your premiums. It's what you're paying to keep that policy going. All right, a deductible. So y'all know a deductible. That's what you pay before the insurance pays their part. So you pay before the insurance will pay its part. So basically on car insurance and things like that, cell phone insurance and all that, you pay your premium and then you pay a deductible and you're done. Like on a car insurance, you might have a 500 deductible. You pay that, insurance is paying everything else. Now in healthcare, you might see what we call a co-payment. On healthcare, you usually do have a co-payment. That's on top of your premium and your deductible. So what a co-payment is, it's the part you pay after the insurance company pays their percentage after the deductible is met. So what I'm saying, co-payment. Say you went into the hospital and you was charged $10,000 for a procedure. Your deductible is $1,000. So what you would do, you got that $10,000 hospital bill, you pay $1,000 of it, that's going to leave roughly $9,000 left. So what happens on that, say my insurance pays 80%, so on that $99,000, if I multiplied that by 0.8, which is 80%, that means the insurance would pay 7,200 of the 9,000. So that would leave me 9,000 minus the 7,200. So that means my 20% would be another $1,800. Usually you can get that paid out, but that's what a co-payment is, okay? So the insurance is either going to pay 70, 75, 80% of what's left after that deductible is taken out, okay? All right, y'all, let me see. I think I'm getting ready now. So I'm going to go to the actual exercise problems. So let me share a new screen. And I wanted to go through some of these in 4A to show you what kind of problems you'd see. So for 4A, number 1 here, it's asking me, what does a negative monthly cash flow mean? Well, remember, negative monthly cash flow means you're into negative, which means your expenses are greater than your, what do we call it? Money you're bringing in, okay? So if your expenses are higher than your income, it's going to be negative, and we need that to be positive. So it means you're spending more money than you're taking in. That's true, but here it's saying the difference is positive. No, no, no. That's not a negative monthly flow. So then, let's see, it means your investments are losing value. It means you're taking in more money than you're spending. No. It means your investments are losing value, not enough information. It means you are taking in more money than you're spending. No. It means you're spending more money than you're taking in. Yes. And now, when you subtract your expenses from your income, it's negative. So that would be a negative cash flow, is when I subtracted and I got a negative, okay? So then you would check that. They only going to give us one check on these, so I probably won't check all my answers. Save time by just going to the next one. So, find it for the average person, what is the single biggest category of expenses? So they want me to click this icon to view the expenses. So we're looking for the average person. What is the single biggest category of expense? All right, so here we go. And notice the percent is to the right. And then here they got all the expenses labeled. So it looks like this one expense is way over here. So, and this is under 35, 35, 64, 65 and older. Well, all three of these in this age group are really far right on housing. So we're going to say the single biggest category is definitely going to be housing. Oh, and then let's go back to the graph. It wants to know for the average person. Let's see. So the average person, these are sitting way over here in the 33 to 34 range. So let me see. So it's housing, and this one's housing, but I need this one. Because remember, most of mine were sitting around 33% instead of the 23%. So housing, and then look at the percents, okay? All right, y'all, next question. Might as well check them if it's just gonna make me do all that, right? All right, does this make sense or does not make sense? Brandon discovered that his daily routine of buying a slice of pizza and a soda at lunch was costing him more than $16,000 per year. So let's see. It does not make sense because that would cost him $44 a day. The statement makes sense because this would mean that a slice of pizza and soda cost him about $44 a day. The statement makes sense because this would mean that a slice of pizza and soda cost him $4 a day. And the statement does not make sense because this would mean that a slice of pizza and a soda cost him $4 a day. So $16,000 per year divided by, this is doing this what? A daily routine. So daily means divided by 352 days, right? Which is going to give me, oh, I think it was 365. Oh, my bad. 16,000 divided by 365. Woo, I do that a lot, y'all. I'm getting them 52 weeks. But this is giving me about 83, which would be about $44 a day. So this does not make sense because he would be spending $44 a day on pizza and soda. All right, let's see what we got here. Number 4. So compute the cost per year of the following expenses, then complete the sentence. On an annual basis, the first set of expenses is blank percent of the second set of expenses. Okay, on an annual basis. So this is going to be annual. So let me get what I get. 14 a day on lottery. And then month, 130 on food. So we want to compare the lottery tickets to the food. So I'll show you what I would do on this one. Let me click my screen, get back to my webcam. So 14 on lottery, 130 on food. Remember, this was, let me go back. Was that monthly or? I think this was monthly on the food. Let me quick check real quick. So monthly on the food. And then weekly on the lottery. All right, so let's go figure this out. So really what I would do is see how much these were each yearly because that's what annually meant. So $14 times 52 weeks. Let's see what that equals. 14 times 52 gives me 728. Then I would take the $130 times months, which is 12. So 130 times 12 gives me 1560. So to see what percent of lottery tickets versus food, I would take the lottery tickets, which is 728, divide by the food, which is 1560. So 728 divided by the 1560 for the food gave me 0.46667 going on out, right? So let's see what they want us to round that to. So I'm gonna go back to the math problem and see what they're rounding to. So round to the nearest percent. So first I'm gonna turn it into percent. So decimal, you moved it left. Percent, you would move it back right. So that would give me 46.6667. To round to the nearest percent, I'm looking at where the 6 is. So since this is higher or equal to a 5, I round that 6 up to a 7. So that I get 47, not dollars, but percent. Okay, so that means that the lottery tickets are about half of what they spend on food. Woo, that's not too good, is it? So let's see, we went with what, 47 on that? So what you would do, you would come in, type in the 47, hit enter to check, and then move on to the next one. For y'all, these aren't bad. It's just seeing what they're comparing, and then that's how you divide this, okay? Same thing here. So let's see, 75 a month on the phone bill, 210 per year on student health insurance. So on an annual basis, we're comparing the cell phone to the insurance, okay? Now remember, that's per month, and this is definitely per year. And we round to the nearest percent. All right, so I'm gonna go show you what I would do on that. All right, so on this one, 75 a month, we would multiply 75 times 12 to get the yearly amount. So that's 900 a year, 200 a year on insurance. So we take our 900 divided by our 210. So let's see, 900 divided by 210 gives me 4.28, right? Turn that into a percent. And y'all, that's going to give me 428%. So let's go back to the screen. And since this one was a whole lot bigger than the one we're divided by, that's why our percent was so high. And we got 428%. Oh, hold on. Let me see what I do on that one. All right, let me see what I did. 70. Okay, 75. Oh, I know what I did. Times 12. That was my 900. Divided by 210. All right, let's see here. 210. I think they're asking it weird here. Let's multiply that by 100. So let's see, 23%. Let's see, it's just the way they're wording this, I think. I'm trying to play with this and see. MATLAB is a little funny at times. So let me backspace and make that a 23. All right, we're going to do this the hard way, see what they're saying here. So click and enter. Y'all had what I do? I didn't round or something because we had 428. Let me go back up here and see what was up. Oh, you know what I should have done right here when I had 4.285? I should have rounded that to 4.29 when I multiplied by the hundreds. So we were right up here all along. I just didn't round right. So that should have rounded to a 429. Woo, y'all was going to go crazy there for a second. Okay, so definitely got to round a little better on that. All right, so here's the same thing. Annual basis. First set, we got 14 a week on SIGs. Next, I got 38 a month on dry cleaning. Now I'm going to round better on this one because I don't want to have to look bad on this, okay? All right, so let's go to our screen. And we're going to round this to the nearest percent again. All right, so 14 a week, 38 a month. So 14 a week times 52 weeks. So 14. Oops, let me clear my screen. All right, so 14 times 52 gives me 728. 38 times 12 is going to give me 456. Oh, y'all, that does bug me on that last one, but here we go. 728 divided by 456. So since the top's bigger, this is going to be over 100% again. So 728 divided by 456 equals 1.596. I'm going to round that 4 to a 5. Okay, so I moved right twice to turn this into percent. Now, since I'm focusing on the 9, since that 6 is bigger than a 5, I'm going to round the 9 up, which means I round the 5 up 1, so that this gives me 160%. So 159.6 rounds up to a 160%. So y'all, hopefully this one does good this time, right? I'm going to be sad if it don't. So let's go 160, enter. Yes, there we go. So get that rounding done and we're good to go. All right, find a monthly interest payment in a situation described below. The monthly is 1/12 of the annual, sort of like I did. So for the monthly, you would take 24%, divide that by 12. So 24 divided by 12 is going to give me 2% monthly. Now, your balance is 675. So remember what I did on the problem? I took my 675, multiplied by 2%, but remember the decimals here, you got to move it left and make that a 0.02. Can't multiply while it's in percent form. You got to change it to a decimal by moving it left too. All right, so here we go. 675 times 0.02. Oh, and I didn't switch the screen. Let me get the screen real quick. All right, so what I did, 24%, I divided by 12 to get 2%, which is 0.02 monthly because you got to move that decimal left twice. Then I said, okay, we had 675 times that 0.02% monthly. So 675 times 0.02 gives me 13.5. So let's go see what they wanted on that one. And they just wanted me to find the monthly interest payment. So if I was looking at money, that would actually be what? $13.50. So $13.50. $13.50 and enter. All right, y'all, next question is what, number 8? All right, so let's see. Prorate the given expenses to find a monthly cost. So she pays $5,300 for 2 semesters, plus an additional $360 per semester. So we want to see what that's costing her monthly. So let's go down to the screen again. All right, so it's $5,300 for 2 semesters, so that's not changing, right? That's probably $2,650 a semester. But then she pays $360 per semester, so that'll be plus $360 plus $360. We're adding all these to get her total. So $5,300 plus $360 plus $360. All right, that's going to give me $6,020. To find her monthly expenses, we take that $6,020 and divide by 12. All right, so start over. 6,020 divided by 12, and that's giving me 501.6666. So let's go see how they want to answer. I'm sure they'll want it to be 501.67, right? We want to round to the nearest cents. So let's see. Oh, round to the nearest dollar. So 501.6, I'm looking at where the 1 is. Since the 6 is 5 or bigger, I would make that a 502. So see, they're giving me the money symbol, so I'll just put in my 502 and enter. All right, y'all, let me make sure I got everything written down here. Oh, my bad. That's for each of the 2 semesters. I read that wrong. So I'm going to go back. And we need to add another 5,300 for that's each of the semesters. So let me go back and take that 6,020, add in my 5,300. That gives me 11,320 that I'm now going to divide by 12. And I get 943.33. Rounded to the nearest dollar will be 943. So I don't round that up because that's lower than a 5. Y'all, I got to get to reading better. It's hard when I'm out here on this computer in this bedroom. Okay, so sorry, hers was 943. Ooh, I got to read these. Got to start reading these right, y'all. I'm going to lead y'all wrong on these, okay? All right, let's see. The expenses and income. So let me go back. So y'all are on the screen. Of an individual are given in table to the right. Find a net monthly cash flow. Assume salaries and wages are after taxes. All right, so we want to find the net monthly cash flow. So here's my income. So let's add the income up. So 500 a month, and then 500 a month from the grandparents. Now the other one says 4,800 a year, so you would take the 4,800 and divide by 12 months in a year to get a monthly of $400. So 500 plus 500 plus 500 will be my income. My expenses are 500 a month on rent, 70 a week. So they're saying there's 4 months, there's 4 weeks in a month. So 70 times 4 gives me 280. That's on the groceries. Tuition and fees is $2,400 twice a year. So you could double that. 2,400 makes 4,800. Take that 4,800 and divide by 12, and you're going to get 400. And then incidentals are 100 a week, so times 4 would make that $400 a month. Okay, so everything's got to be in months. So here's my income and expenses. All right, so let me go to my screen so we can work this. All right, so I got my 500, 500, 400 on my income, expenses, 500, 280, 400, 400. So let's find our total income, which is 500 plus 500 is 1,000 plus 400 is 1,400 income minus my expenses, which is 500 plus 280, which is 780 plus 400 is 1180 plus 400 is 1580. All right, those were my expenses. So I had to figure them all out to the month on everything, okay? So now 1,400 minus 1,580 is going to give me a negative, whoops, let's do that again. 1,400 minus 1,580 is going to give me a negative 180 cash flow, which means my expenses are greater than my income. So now we got a negative number here. So we got a negative 180. Let's see if that's how they wanted that. And it is. All right, y'all, moving on. All right, so they want me to see the patterns for people of different ages in a certain nation. Determine whether the spending pattern given below is equal to, above, or below the national average. So a 30-year-old woman with a monthly salary of $3,000 spends $1,020 per month on rent. All right, so we need to find a 30-year-old woman and look at what they spend on rent. So where's rent? This is housing. So that must be my rent, right? Down here it says under 35 is pink. She's 30, so she's going to be the pink one on the housing. And that is sitting at 34%. Okay. So now let's see what she's spending. So we take that 1,020, so 1,020, divide that by her 3,000 because that's her salary. So to see what she's spending on rent, if you divide 1,020 by 3,000, you get 0.34. If you turn that into a percent, you get 34%. So she is equal to the national average. So we would check that. So y'all see what I did? I took her, what she spent on rent, and divided by her total monthly salary to get that percent, okay? So read the chart. You got to find what color you was in, the range for the age, and then you had to figure out if your percent was going to match that, be greater, or be less. So let's see right here. So we're spending 200 out of 4,000 on healthcare. So if we take 200 and divide by 4,000, we would get 0.05. If you turn that into a percent, you would move the decimal right. So 0.05 would become 5%. So let's see if he is equal to that 5%. So we're loading it. We're looking for health care. Health care is right here. 43-year-old man is in the blue range, which says 35 to 64. He was 43, so we're looking at the blue for health care, which is 5%. We said ours was equal to 5%, so we're going to say equal and move on. So see, I'm just taking their bill, dividing by their income. Same thing here. This is 65 years old. So let's see what healthcare they're spending when they're taking 740. Divide that by their 3,400. I get 0.217. I'm going to round that to a 0.22, which means I got 22% or 21.8. Either way, okay, I'm going to round 0.217 to a 0.22. So let's look at the chart. We're looking at 65 years old on health care. So here's my 65 and older is the pinky looking one. We said we were at 22% or so. The national average is 12%. So we are way higher. So we are above, because we said we had, what I say, 22, and we are higher. So then we would check that answer. If it gets me, it's going to be on my rounding. I'll round to the nearest tenth. So let me go back and make that 21.8. So it's at 21.8%. Now I will check it. And we're good to go. All right, so I guess I need to read them before I answer them, right? But y'all are getting an idea on what I'm doing on these. All right, you must decide whether to buy a new car for $20,000. So new car, $20,000. Or lease the same car over a 3-year period. So on a lease, you would put down $3,000 and have monthly payments of $200. All right, so let me see what they're saying over here. They're saying the lease car has a residual value at the end of the lease period of $11,000. So you can buy it for $11,000. Okay, and assume you sell the new car at the end of 3 years at the same residual value. So if you bought the new one and sold it for $11,000 after 3 years, or did you buy the other one? So which is going to be less expensive to buy or lease? So this one's going to be $20,000. If I sell it at a residual value of 11, 20,000 minus 11,000 gives me a difference of 9,000. If I lease it for 3 years, 3 years is 36 months. So let's go and do some math to this. Okay, so what I got, 11,000 is the residual value. I paid 20,000 for the car. So 20,000 minus 11,000 gave me 9,000, okay? Over here, you got the same residual value, but this car cost you 3,000 as a down payment, 200 a month for 36 months is 3 years. So we need to see what 200 times 36 is going to give me. That is 7,200. Add that to the 3,000. That's going to give me $10,200. Okay. So if you notice, by leasing it, I'm going to spend, and I sell it for 11,000. Well, that's going to give me a negative number. So let's see, 10,200 minus the 11,000 is going to give me a negative 800, which means I'm making $800. I mean, I'm spending 800 less here than I did over here. Okay, I'm making a profit here. I'm getting the car, I'm buying it for 10,200. I'm selling it for 11,000. I'm making $800 over here. Over here, I'm paying $20,000 for a car. I'm only selling it for 11,000. So I made a profit of 9,000, but that's not a profit, y'all. That's the difference. That's how much more I'm paying on this car, right? 11,000. I'm paying all this extra money over here. I paid 10,200. Oh, what happened to my screen? All right, for some reason my screen went down. But notice you're spending 20,000 here, over here. Altogether, I'm only spending 10,200 over here. Oh, okay. I meant what they say now. They said, let's go back and read this real good. Okay. I got to read this. Okay, for 20,000 under this term of lease, you can make a down payment of 3,000 or have monthly payments. Da, 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 da. Oh, so is it less expensive to buy or lease? Well, over here, I spent 20,000 to buy the car. Over here, I'm putting 3,000 down. So 3,000 down. Plus, remember, 7,200 for the 3 years. So that together gives me 10,200. But then they're saying if I buy it, I got to buy it for 11,000. Okay, so I see what they're asking for now. So if you had to buy it for 11,000, that would end up giving you 21,200, which is higher than the 20,000 I was going to spend. So the cost for buying the car and selling it after 3 years. So if I bought the car and sold it, the cost would be the 9,000. So let me see if that's what they're talking about there. 9,000 enter. All right, that's what they wanted there. The cost for leasing the car is, so we figured that total out at 21,200. So 21,200. Okay, so I did that. Maybe they want me to subtract off the 11,000. So the cost of the car is basically 10,200. Okay, so now, is it less expensive to buy or lease? Looks like it's less expensive to buy. Because they're assuming, I guess, we sold them both and we're just looking at the total money we make on this or whatever, okay? Woo, different questions. Man, I'm telling you, it's a lot of technical stuff on them, right? But I wanted y'all to see mistakes that are made on these, just like I'm doing on these. You got to watch for those kind of mistakes. So many insurance policies carry a deductible that states how much you claim out of pocket. If someone files a claim for $350 with a $200 deductible, here he pays $200 and the insurance pays the $150. In the following cases, determine how much a person would pay with and without insurance. So a person has a car policy with $700 deductible. During a 2-year period, the person files claims for $500 and $1,000. The annual premium is $590. So let's see. The person has, so with the insurance, let's see. We got a $700 deductible. We got $1,500 in claims because that's the $500 plus the $1,000. So we got $1,500 in claims. So if we use the insurance, remember, we got a $590 premium. All right, $590 premium. Now, remember, it says a $700 deductible per claim. Okay? So 700 deductible, that means you're paying that whole 500 on the first one. So we're adding that to the 590 premium. And then out of the 1,000, you're paying 700 of that one. So your total that you're paying with the insurance would be the 590 plus the 500 plus 700. Okay, so we figured that out on here. You got a $700 deductible, so you got to pay the whole 500, and then it'll pay 700 out of the 1,000, which leaves 300 for the insurance to pay on that one. So the total with the insurance came out to $1,790. So let's see. With the insurance policy, the person would pay $1,790. Whoops, I didn't get this one. Without the insurance, the person would pay $1,500. So that wanted whole numbers. Oh, where are they getting me, y'all? Let's see. I got a 590 premium. Right? Ain't that what it's saying? The annual premium is 590. Oh, 2 years. Okay, so 2 years, that's another 590. I did it for 1 year. So add another 590 to the insurance, and it's 2380. All right, so 2380 for the insurance. All right, so here we go, 2380. All right, we're good to go. I didn't see that that was 2 years. I just did it for 1. All righty. A person has a car insurance policy with a 300 deductible per collision. During a 2-year period, the files claim for 500 and 1,400. The annual premium is 590. So once again, this is for 2 years. Okay. So I'm going to go to the screen and show you me actually working this. Okay, so without insurance, you would pay both claims, which is 500 plus the 1,400. So you would pay $1,900 for those 2 claims if you did not have insurance. Now remember, for the insurance, it's $590 a premium per year. So you got $590 and another $590. This time it said it was $300 per accident. So since you had 2 accidents, you paid a $300 deductible twice. So let's see what we get when we add 590 plus 590 plus 300 plus 300. We get 1,780. So this time it was cheaper if you had the insurance. And y'all, that's usually the case. The bigger these bills and the more claims, it usually pays off eventually to have that insurance. Oh, wrong screen. Let me go to my screen here. All right, so without the policy, we would pay $1,900, we said. With the policy, we would pay $1,780. All right, so I'm going to check that. Okay, let me make sure I did everything right. Person has car insurance with a 300 deductible, so I did that twice for both of the periods. 5 and 1,400, got that. The annual premium was, oh, I didn't put that. Okay, so what I do? So the annual premium was $670. Then you had 300 for each accident. Was your part of it. That's your deductible. And then another 670 because that's per year. Okay, so let me go back. Where did I get the 590? Oh, what was five? Oh, I was looking at the wrong problem when I did the 590. Oh, I'm going to get myself, y'all. So it's 670 on our problem. So let's do 670 plus 670 plus 300 twice. That's going to give me 1940. Which means, ooh, having insurance was once again a little higher than not having insurance. All right, so 1940 with the insurance. So 1940. And I think I had them mixed up a while ago because this was one without the insurance. Okay, without the insurance was 1900. All right, so we're on a row, I hope now. Same thing here. Let me write these numbers. $1,100 deductible. 2-year period, you have claims for $200 and $1,500. That's your claims. This is $390 premium per year. All right, so let's figure these ones out. I'm going to get this one on the first shot. Y'all watch. So, without insurance, you're going to pay the full price of the 2 claims. You got $200 plus $1,500, give you $1,700 if you do not have insurance. All righty. This one has premiums of $390 per year, so that's $390 and $390. You have $1,100 deductible, which means since this claim was only $200, you're paying the whole $200. Now, since this claim was $1,500, you'll have to pay $1,100 deductible for that one, and insurance would pay that other $400. All right, so let's see what we get. $390 plus $390 plus $200 plus $1,100 is going to give me $2,080. So once again, you're cheaper without the insurance on this one. All right, so with the insurance, you're paying $2,080. Without the insurance, you'd pay $1,700. Sort of nice to see how they make money on us, right? So this one says, explain why lower insurance premiums go with higher deductibles. Let's see. They have to make a profit, so they offset the low premium with a high deductible. High deductibles attract more customers. False. If the premium is low, the insurance company will make a higher profit during high claims. False. The insurance company does not want to make a profit, low premium. So it had to be A, right? They want to make a profit, so they offset what they're losing on the premiums with what they can get on those deductibles. So this one, y'all, it's pretty much doing the same thing, because what's happening is I'm sort of out of time on this. So they're giving you the provisions, and right over here it's telling you what they got to pay at $35, $325 co-payment, $1,300 deductible, premium of $390. So this is your thing. Just remember, on the office visit, they're going to pay $35 of it. That's your copay, right? Insurance will pay the rest. Emergency room, $325 copayment. So you're going to pay $325. The insurance is going to pay the rest. Monthly premium is $390. So you're going to pay that month. Surgical has a $1,300 deductible. So you're going to pay $1,300 on that surgery. Then you're going to pay another $35 for a doctor visit because that's your copay. And then emergency room, what did it say? Emergency rooms have a $325 copayment again. So you'll pay $325 out of that $900. So you add them up, add in your monthly premium. And now remember, that monthly premium needs to be multiplied by 12 because that's your yearly expenses, okay? So figure that out, and then I don't know what B wants, so y'all want me to do that real quick. I'm going to do it. Okay, so let me write down my visits. Office visit was $175. Emergency room was $720. Office was $175. Surgery, $10,000. Office, $175. Emergency room, $900. All right, let me shut my door real quick. All right, so I got those down. Now remember, for the office visit, my copayment is $35. For the emergency room, I got a $325 copayment. Office visit again, $35. Surgery. Surgery is a $1,300 deductible, so I'm going to be paying that $1,300. Office visit again is $35. And in emergency room again is $325. Now remember, I pay $390 a month times 12. So $390 will be times 12 months. So let me go to my screen here so y'all can watch me. I'm going to add this column up over here, which was what we just figured out. 3500 on the office, 325 emergency room, 35 office, 1300 surgery, 35 office, 325 emergency room, and then this was my premium per month times 12. So I'm going to start off $390 times 12. I'm paying $4,600 just on premiums right here. So then I add my 325, my 35, my 1300, my 35, my 325, and my 35. That gives me a total of $6,735 that I'm paying. Ooh, that's a lot of money. All right, so what I say, 6,735. And that's a whole number. Now, determine the person's healthcare expenses for the year without the insurance. So I would have to add all these up to get their total healthcare without the expenses. So I would come in and do, let me go to the screen real quick. So for that, I would add all these costs up. I got 175 plus 720 plus 175 plus 10,000 plus 175 plus 900 for that emergency room. All those together add up to 12,145. So that was 12,145. And then let's see what they want. Y'all, that was it. So this one, it was definitely better to have health insurance. Okay. So that's this 4A, managing your money. So the main thing in this chapter was make a budget, know your income, know your expenses, Try to keep that difference positive, and if you need to, make adjustments as needed. All right, y'all, that's it for this one. I will see y'all next class.